Alright guys, welcome back to my channel again. Today we're going to take a look at one of those obscure items that really should be in a bob or a get-home bag, depending on how far away you live from your home. Now, we're not going to discuss having a main compass, such as this Suunto MC2. This is one of the better compasses you can have because it has a flat base plate. It has a mirror. This really is one of the best compasses, especially when used with a map. You can lay it flat. "90 degrees, whatever you need." This is an absolutely great compass. It's not cheap, but it will get the job done. Once again, this is the Suunto MC-2 compass. Now, what we're going to look at today are mini compasses in general, and these two in particular. The one on the left is from Marathon Watch Company. For those of you who know about watches, especially tool watches favored by militaries, Marathon is a name you probably recognize. Most people really don't. Basically, at one point in time, if you wanted the absolute best quality tool watch at still a somewhat affordable price, you went with Rolex. It's that simple. Rolex actually started out as a caser, meaning they didn't make their own watches. Then they started making their own watches. They made them to a very high quality, but they were tool watches. And nowadays, yeah, they're still pretty much tool watches, but they're more status symbols. If you want something nowadays that is an excellent quality tool watch, something that specific members of the military are very much aware of, it's going to be Marathon. And this compass on the left is from Marathon, and the compass on the right is a Mini Comp 2 made by the Sun Company. Now, not Suunto, the Sun Company. Now, the reason why you really need a mini compass, especially in your bug out bag, is because what will often happen is that when someone is using their main compass, sometimes there's a psychological phenomenon where they don't trust what their compass is telling them. They'll look at it, they'll get the same reading a couple of times, standing in the same direction, or using their compass with a map, and they convince themselves that their compass is not working properly. They have a gut feeling that, hey, that's not the right direction that I need to be going at. That's not where I need to be headed to, even though my compass is telling me that's the way to go. And it doesn't matter if it's an expensive, well-made compass like the Suunto MC-2 or some cheap, inexpensive compass that they picked up at some cheap sporting goods store. That's why having a backup compass, especially a good mini compass, is an absolute must, because that sort of thing could happen to you where all of a sudden you don't trust what your main compass is telling you. Well, if you have a mini compass in your bag, you can pull it out, take a look at it, and confirm. And if your mini compass and your main compass are both telling you the same thing, and I'm sorry, but your gut was wrong. Let's take a quick look at these two. Now, the Marathon one is not liquid filled. It's usually a good idea to get a compass that is liquid filled. It does have a rotating bezel with north, south, all over it. It does rotate, good solid clicks, and that's a glow-in-the-dark bezel. Now this is designed to go on your watch, but it can be a bit bulky and uncomfortable. Personally, I prefer not to use it on my watch strap. Okay, this is the Mini Comp 2 centimeters. You're not going to be able to see that, and inches on either side. Now, this rotating bezel does not glow in the dark, but it is easier to turn, and this compass is actually liquid filled. It's very difficult to be able to detect that on video, but it is actually liquid filled. Now, the nice thing especially with these two mini compasses, and I really don't recommend micro compasses, ones smaller than these, ones that don't have rotating bezels. I've had really poor experience with those really tiny, absolutely tiny micro compasses, and I don't recommend them. When you have a compass with a rotating bezel, such as these two, you can actually use it with a map. Now, on the Mini Comp 2, in order to get it to lay flat, you will have to take off the keyring. That's not something you'll have to do with the Marathon Mini Compass. And again, you should have knowledge of how to use a compass with a map. But the nice thing with these two, with their rotating bezels and the fact that they lay flat, is that you can absolutely use these the way you would a bigger compass with a map. So it's not just simple, let me find out which way is north and I need to be headed west sort of thing. These are excellent compasses, and a good mini compass like one of these two is an absolute must in your bob and possibly even your get home bag. Alright guys, I really hope you liked this video. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.